how to operate the Truma Combi Control panel. To turn the control panel on, just press the button just here, and then you will see a series of icons, and as I rotate this button they will begin to flash. So if we start with the first icon just here, this one is for your heating. If we now click the button, you'll see that heating is off, and all we now do is just rotate and pick whatever temperature we would like it to be inside, and it will go right the way up to a rather toasty 30 degrees. So let's say we would like it to be 30 degrees in here. Click to store it in, and you'll now see a little flame has appeared above. That little flame there just represents the heating system, and it's just letting you know that you've set a parameter. Whenever the heating is actually in operation, the flame will steadily begin to flash, and it will continue to flash until the temperature has been achieved. If we now move across to the next icon, this one here is for hot water, and again if I now click on it, hot water is off. All we now do is rotate, and we can heat hot water in eco mode, which will give us a temperature of about 40 degrees. We can heat in hot, which will give us a temperature of about 60 degrees. And we can also perform a boost on the boiler. If I now perform the boost, you will see that the heating turns off as it needs the extra power to perform it. The boost facility is very handy if there's going to be more than one of you having a shower in quick succession of each other, or if you would just like a longer shower. If I now click back on it and I now drop it back down to eco, you'll see that the heating comes back on and the water, and again exactly the same with your water, it will continue to flash until it's achieved the temperature you have asked it. If we now move across to the next set of icons, this one here is power source. So we are currently using mains electricity using 2 kilowatts. If I rotate the button, I can lower the power consumption to 1 kilowatt if we're on a low amp site to stop ourselves from tripping. We can run in dual fuel, so we can run on a mixture of gas and mains at 2, or a mixture of gas and mains at 1. These settings are very handy, especially in the winter months if you want to get up to temperature nice and quickly. They will only use gas as it's required. And then lastly, if you have no mains connected, you can solely run on gas. And you can see the icons just change up there. So you've got gas on its own, gas and mains at 1, gas and mains at 2, mains at 1, mains at 2. Always remember to click to store in, or it will always resort back to the last setting it was on. If we now move across to the next icon, this is the circulation fan for the heating. At the moment the fan is in eco mode. We can either turn it up to high or boost it. After that we then drop to the lower icons. This one here is for a basic timer. If I now click on it, you can set a start time. So just literally rotate and pick when you want it to begin, and then an end time. And then once you've done that, just pick what you would like on within that timer. And then lastly, timer on, timer off. If I now put that timer on, those settings will then apply within that time period. If I now click back on it again, we can now turn it back off again. And when we return to it, we can then alter it again. Obviously, if you're going to be using the timer, it helps if the clock's correct, and that's all this one here does. It just literally just sets the correct time. And then lastly, next to the little symbol that's letting us know we have mains connected, is the settings menu, and within that you have offset, which is just for the onboard thermostat. If you don't think it's quite correct, you can just tweak it slightly. Temperature, whether you prefer it in Celsius or Fahrenheit. Brightness of the screen, 12 or 24 hour clock, language, index, which is more for the technicians, it just lets them know what software it's running, and then lastly full factory reset. From time to time these will throw up error codes. They will usually be something relatively basic, so if you're running on main supply and you lose mains, it will let you know, and if you're running it on gas and you have no gas, etc. as well. An error code will appear when my finger is here as a warning triangle. If you then click on it, it will display a series of letters and numbers. If you then look in the manual or you Google it, it will then let you know what the problem is. 9 times out of 10, as long as you rectify the problem, the error code will just disappear. If that doesn't happen, it's always then a good idea to just turn off anything you may have running, because it can reassess a lot faster when it's not trying to do lots of things at once. If that still doesn't work, I then always say do the good old-fashioned turn it off, turn it on again. And the way we turn this system completely off is literally just by holding the button in, and then off will appear on the screen. It will not allow you to turn it back on again until off's disappeared. If when you turn it back on again you still have an error code, I always then suggest just doing the factory reset, because sometimes they can just glitch.